I really want to go home. Like, really want to go home. You'd be totally in your right to say to me, you know, with all the bad going on in the world, and all the bad that happens to people, and all the bad that could happen to you, you can't cry over an MP3 player. But I actually can. Especially if I find out I can't get another one. I asked at one place, the guy's like, they don't make those anymore. So we'll see. We'll see if I can get one off of Amazon. Or eBay. I don't really like getting things off of eBay, but I don't know. Everything good has to lead to bad, you know. Of course, I love MP3 players. Of course, they're not going to make them anymore, you know. Is there something else that takes their place? That you put MP3s on, or, you know. What happened to your MP3 player? Laura, you might ask, that's your baby. That's your security blanket. That's your salvation. I know. I said, everything good has to lead to bad. It should have been impossible for anything to happen to my baby, my MP3 player, in the pool where I was having a lot of fun. Should have been impossible. Should have been impossible. After all, it was in a Ziploc bag. Yeah. It really boils down to is me. That's all. That's what it really boils down to, is there's something wrong with me, okay? I just do things without thinking. Like, seriously. I do things without thinking. Unfortunately, I was going to see my mom, and I decided to go. I was up early, as I don't really sleep good here. I usually go in the pool at night or late afternoon. hours before I was going to see my mom, so I decided to go in the pool. There was a guy with his family there. That's all fine and good. He said hi to me. I said hi back. Unfortunately, he had my table where I like to put my stuff where I can see. And unfortunately, he was right there watching his kids in the pool. So instead of being able to just discreetly get out of the pool, I didn't know what to do. Because, like I said, I didn't want to parade in front of him with the, my unshaved inner thighs. I went in the pool twice. I was fine. The end of another good time in the pool, blasting my favorite tunes in my ears, my MP3 being safe. I watched his kids going across and holding on and then getting to the ladder in the deep end. I thought, I can do that. I can do that. That way I can get up on the other side and get to my shorts and my shoes and not have to literally walk several feet in front of where he was standing in order to reach my stuff. I just kept praying they would leave. They didn't leave. They didn't leave. They did not leave. They were still there when I left an hour and 15 minutes later. I didn't submerge my MP3 player, but I didn't realize I didn't pay attention. That's the whole thing. I do stupid things and I pay the consequences. Sometimes consequences far more severe than, a ruined MP3 player. Again, when you have so little in this life, I indisputably have so little, okay? I can cry over this. If I find out I can't get another one, I'm going to wail. I don't know what to get in its place. Just stop making things about me. In the case of my MP3 player that I love, maybe they still sell them. Who knows? This one got wet before it survived. It got wet in the rain. I bought rice. I have it in rice. Foolishly wasn't thinking, and then first I plunged it into my chair. I'm like, no, Laura, no. I was thinking it was quinoa. I just don't think in this life, that's all. I just don't think. I'd lose my head if it wasn't attached to my body. I just want to go home. I just want to go home. They offer a computer here, and it hasn't worked the entire time I've been here. probably isn't gonna work, you know. That pisses me off. This is something else I can't say, but I think I might have been deceived. I get such a kick out of people who, that's because they don't, people will say, well, that person didn't lie to you. That, I know that person. I highly doubt that person lied to you. That person's really nice. Yeah, that's what the social worker said from that horrible bitch psychiatrist. And I met the social worker in person, and I didn't really want to talk to the bitch psychiatrist, but she was like, she's really nice. No, to you, she's really nice. In the end, both of you guys together ganged up on me over the phone and treated me like dog shit, okay? There's lots of people who will say, oh, so-and-so's really nice because they've never experienced that person not being nice. They've never been put in a position to deal with that person not being nice. That's the whole thing. That's all it is. So I think I told you my mom had a roommate, has a roommate. I met the roommate's daughter. She's very nice, but she's dealing with shit, just like I'm dealing with shit in this 1-star Medicare rating facility. I got to talk to the daughter. The daughter's complained about stuff. The daughter's mother's bedridden, like my mother was. Now my mother hen, is trying to protect the mom. There's a resident who, and then they, like I said before, they so conveniently just try to act like my mom's making it up. And the same one accusing my mother of making it up is the aide my mother can't stand, who higher management will say, oh, that didn't really happen, your mother's making it up. So I educated this woman, and I'm like, look, she's there all the time visiting her mom. She has to be because her mom is helpless. I said, look, this is what they conveniently love to do. They want to just say, it's so convenient. Oh, you know your mother has dementia. You know they have dementia. I don't think that happened. You know, flashback to several weeks ago when I experienced that at the hands of a nurse, okay? When my mom first complained about the aide, but funny how my mom complains about one person, but she's making it up, right? But now she witnessed a resident, and this is the same resident that I had to complain about because she kept going in and out of my mom's room. And that was all fine and good, but she wanted to look out the window and she wouldn't. I have PTSD from all I experienced with Donald, okay? It was whatever. I know people have dementia and they wander, but my mom complains that they go in her closet, they're taking clothes. My mom cries to me. I'm like, I don't know, Mom. If they took your clothes, if I ever see anybody, I know what your clothes look like and they're labeled. If I see anyone in them, I'll say something. But if they take them and hide them or whatever, I'll just get you more clothes, okay? What are we supposed to do? There's only so much you can do. They're short-staffed. They're not a high-rated facility. I mean, you know, they're not a high-rated facility for a reason. But anyway, it's like a fucking soap opera. My mom witnessed that same woman who I had a problem with because I'm like, you can stay over there while I'm talking to my mom and that's fine. Okay, you don't have to leave because I know they have dementia. I don't want to be mean. But she wouldn't, she kept hovering behind me. And I had to go complain. And then I said, I don't want you behind me. I don't like it. And then she goes, I'm not going to hurt you. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't have to be rational. I say to myself, but again, you're dealing with, okay, so you're dealing with someone who has dementia, obviously, who's wandering, who's confused. Well, this same woman my mom witnessed her taking the blanket from the bedridden roommate, okay? But also, my mom, and we know my mom's telling the truth, and I told this woman, I said, you know, they love to conveniently say, oh, you know, she has dementia, she's making it up. The same aide my mother complained about said to my mom, oh, you're just imagining things. My mother is telling the truth. She's not going to make this up. The woman punched that other woman in the face or hit her in the face or whatever. Whether it's intentional, not intentional, doesn't really matter. She shouldn't be anywhere near her. That's the whole point. And this woman's like, they should have a guard or something outside if this woman's wandering her. You're funny. That's when I said, you know, this is 1-star Medicare rating, right? It's not a high-rated facility. I have to fight my battles. I have to pick my battles. So my mother's trying to defend this woman. My mom can walk a little bit now, and she's out in the hallway. My mom's still bitching to me that same aide ignores the call light. I know, Mom. Intentionally, not intentionally, short-staffed. I'm sure they're more short-staffed overnight, you know. What am I? There's nothing I could do. I complained. That's all I could do, Mom. I complained to management. Now this woman is going to complain to management, but her mom doesn't remember being hit in the face, and now we're going to go by what my mom says. And they're going to try to say, oh, well, my mom's making it up. No, she fucking isn't. No, she fucking isn't. No, she fucking isn't wigging anything up. She has mild dementia. Oh, I know my mom's telling the truth. I knew she was telling the truth several weeks ago when she first complained about the one aide, because her complaints were so specific about, oh, it was cold, she wouldn't give me a blanket, she was laughing at me, she wouldn't take me to go to the bathroom, she was mean to me. And then 17 days later, the same one. I didn't complain I didn't complain to management the first time. I mentioned it to two nurses, and the one that known me from day one was like, I don't think that happened. You know, your mother has dementia. I did the best I could. It's happening to my mom's roommate, not to my mom. And I said to them, you know, but it was over the weekend. This all happened. And I said, you know, I just want you to know, if they're going to try to say my mom's making it up, she isn't. Her dementia is not what you think it is. It's just she get confused a little bit, yes. She doesn't get confused about her being abused by another resident or staff or witnessing it happen to someone else. Her roommate, she's not confused about that. So this is interesting. That woman comes every day, and apparently this did first day I met her, and she's like, your mother tells me everything every single time I'm here. Yeah, she lets her use her phone too. Someone will call me and say, I didn't recognize the number, like, when are you coming, what time are you coming? I never know what time, Mom. I only know what time if I have a ride. If I have to take public transportation, I don't know. The stupid computer hasn't worked the entire time I was here. I have to go to the library. I wasn't gonna because I really didn't care. But I have to know the truth if I can get an MP3 player anywhere at all. Something good has to lead to something bad. The something good was me having fun in the pool and jamming to my music. And if I just wasn't self-conscious about my inner thighs being hairy, I didn't think you could see it, but you can. And I wouldn't have had to try to go a roundabout way, and in the shallow end, with the baggie up here, the MP3 player was never ever gonna get wet. It just wasn't gonna happen. I wasn't thinking. It was tight, but I had it open a little bit. I just wasn't, I wasn't thinking. It doesn't even matter. It's the story of my life, I don't think. And bad things happen, you know. Something good. Jam into my tunes in the pool. That guy at the end was he was like, how long did you work out? You worked out a long time. I said, since like an hour and 15 minutes, yeah. That's really good. Swimming's good. That's probably the best exercise. Not necessarily. It is easy on your joints, though, when you're my age. I thought to myself. Whatever. I'm holding back tears. I'm fighting tears. You don't understand that I just probably ruined my baby, my MP3 player, and I'm sad. And it was a result of my own stupidity. That's the thing. I'd be sad if my MP3 player died. I mean, it's really old. I had that a long time. I don't remember where I got it. It wasn't going to last forever, I'm sure, but we never know. So it lasted this long. I lost an MP3 player several years ago. 10 years ago, where I lived here, I lost an MP3 player as I accidentally dropped it down the sewer drain. And then I was going off for the day, and I had to go have no MP3 player all day long, and I felt it was awful. Now it's going to be the same thing again. I have it in a cup of rice. It's not going to work. I know it's ruined. But years ago, it got wet. This one or another one, I don't know. I think it was this one. And it was like this, and I thought it was ruined, and I didn't have any rice, but it dried out, and it worked. It was a miracle. This one's so old, though. It's really old. How old is it? The guy today who works in electronics was practically laughing at me. I'm kidding, but he's like, they don't make those anymore. So when did they start making them? Oh, like 7 years or so. No, I don't think mine's that old, but maybe it is. It's my baby. It's lasted so long, and my stupidity has to destroy it. See, if it just died on me, it's different. If it just died on me, then I'd be sad. But it wouldn't be my fault. See? Something's my fault. I beat myself up about it. I just want to go home. I don't know when I can go home. I just want to go home. All I know, there's another burst pipe wreaking damage on my home, just like I didn't know what was happening under the vanity for days or months or years, potentially. Could have been years. Slowly goes. I just can't take it. I can't take it. It's too much. I had a really good time 3 times in the pool. And what was my reward? My baby, my MP3 player. I've ruined it. Never would have happened if that guy hadn't had my table and hadn't, the table, not my table, the table I wanted, because it's right there, and then it's right where you get out. So then I don't have to prance around people with all the hairy inner thighs, It's like, So I paid the price. I should have never gone anywhere near the deep end. I shouldn't have done it. Shouldn't have done it. I thought I could do what the little girls did and just hold on to the side and go over, and it didn't work out. I don't know what happened. I was too deep, and I just didn't realize I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't paying attention. I don't even know how it happened, actually. Suddenly, I was like, oh my God. The world's already very bleak for me. And without my music, it's a million times bleaker. I've never hidden that fact. No. Just want to go home. I haven't had access to a computer. I want to fucking go home. I want to go home. Stupid computer here hasn't worked the entire time I've been here, practically. I'm not holding my breath. It'll even be fixed at all. It's sick. I just want to go home. Shit happens all the time. Big shit, like the guy shooting and getting a nail in his eye. Just in his work, he was probably working too fast using the nail gun. You gotta be careful, you know. And then comparatively little shit that's big to me because I have so little. So when I'm crying over an MP3 player, I'm not really crying over that. It just is triggering every fucking thing else. A pathetic, loser, lonely existence.